Earthshot had some amazing looks. Prince William really upped his game while in South Africa for it. But before we get into that, I'm Beebs Kelley. I would like to invite you to subscribe if you have not yet already. Click the like button and leave a comment if you would like to. So Prince William was down in South Africa for the Earthshot prize, and we saw a lot of celebrities show up, and he wore some really great pieces throughout. Let's start with Heidi Klum. She wore this really bright red-orange maxi dress that I quite like. It's very asymmetrical. The gathering here is really, really nice, but it does kind of erase her figure a little bit, unfortunately. The drapey fabric is beautiful and has great flow to it, but it did kind of stifle her waistline on the side that has the sleeve, unfortunately. So I quite like the dress, but I feel like for Heidi specifically, it maybe wasn't the absolute best pick for her. I do quite like the dress itself, but I just feel like it wasn't exactly the best choice for her specifically. I feel like this would be a really great option for somebody who has a more rectangular body type or an apple body type who lacks a well-defined waist. This sort of approach would be really, really flattering to them and create the illusion of a more well-defined waist, minimize any wider waistline that they may have with the asymmetry and the draping and the softer fabric. It would be really great for somebody with a body type like Megan, for example, or somebody just in general with a more apple-y body type. So maybe not the best option for her, but generally speaking, still a really pretty dress. Nina Dobrev is wearing a really bright red dress as well. That's just a basic sleeveless, simple column gown here. Quite nice. I like the big statement earrings. If you have a lot of vacant space up here, it's a great choice to do like a bigger, more statement necklace and or earrings. The fit of it looks really nice as well. In some angles, it looks a little too tight, but we don't see, at least not in my pictures, I'm not seeing any, for example, like panty lines or anything like that. So she managed to get a smooth finish, even though it's quite tight. It just looks nice and sleek and smooth. Based on what Prince William wore to the actual awards, he dressed down a little bit. He's dressed a little bit more casually for the actual awards themselves. So in this particular image, it almost makes those in their nicer outfits look ever so slightly overdressed and him look ever so slightly underdressed. But that's not the worst thing in the world. There is a reason behind his selections here. He chose to wear this vintage blazer. Sustainability, re-wearing things, borrowing things, repurposing things is a great option and stays in line with the messaging of the event. So I think it's okay. I'd give it a pass. I quite like his outfit for this, though since it was the green carpet and typically a little bit more glitzy and glamorous, maybe some dress shoes would have just elevated it a tiny bit. I like the outfit itself for daytime, but for the green carpet, he could have maybe changed to dress shoes for that portion of the event to just, stay a little bit more in line with the formality of it, but that's okay. I give him a pass. He, as he said, has had a really intense year, and when you have more intense, stressful things going on, it's important to prioritize comfort as much as possible. This woman here in the yellow dress, it's a really interesting dress and a lovely design for the dress. I like the direction that it was going, but it is a little bit bulky in the lower abdomen area here, and that's just by virtue of its construction. It's not her fault, but it's creating a sort of stiff, thick appearance to the lower portion of the bodice. And then the skirt itself is a little bit wrinkly. I do love the color scheme and I love the idea of it. She also did a great job with her hairstyling and her makeup here. Really great choice when you've got a lot of this volume around the shoulders to not have your hair down. This woman here on the left has a really beautiful and interesting dress. I quite like the draping of the fabric, the bow, and the train is very interesting, really, really pretty, looks gorgeous, and again, fits perfectly. And I absolutely love Prince William's jacket here. I got distracted talking about his shoes, but I do love this blazer. It's fitting him perfectly. I love the double-breasted vibe. It kind of reminds me of the styles King Charles opts for often. Billy Porter staying on brand, going over the top a little bit here. The pattern is really busy and intense, and then he's got a lot of interest with the shirt underneath as well. It's over the top as usual. I really like Winnie Harlow's hairstyling for this. Her makeup looks absolutely beautiful, but I don't particularly like this dress. I think it's a gorgeous color. It looks really beautiful on her, but there's so many texture changes and this really heavy faux fur, it looks like, almost like a belted situation across the hip with this clunky, chunky thing hanging down. I'm just not loving it. It's just a weird, clunky mess that's kind of taking over the dress itself. I think if it were in a different fabric and not this thick, chunky, heavy stuff, it would have come across better. I'm also not a fan of this look here. It's just very, very messy looking. These sorts of patchwork looks are really, really tricky. They can get messy and over the top really, really fast, and that's what happened here. It just looks messy and amateur. It's unfortunate. Hannah Jones is the CEO of Earthshot, and I think this is a gorgeous color on her. And I quite like the jacket itself. It has nice potential. The cut of the jacket is enhancing the appearance of a more well-defined waistline, which is going to be flattering to the figure, but the skirt portion itself just looks maybe a little bit frumpy. I think that if it had a slightly straighter skirt, or if it was a different style of top, it might have helped, or maybe it's more the color of this is just making the skirt look not quite as nice. But overall, I think she did a decent job. Nina Granucci in this green sort of shirt dress with the cheetah or leopard print shoes. It's a cute option. I'm not sure why the sleeves are rolled up in this manner. It's creating a little bit of bulk right there at the waistline where the belt is. That's not going to help anything. It draws the eye right there and gives visual weight. If her sleeves were straight and pulled down, her waistline would have looked more well-defined and it would have created a nicer, smoother silhouette for her. Instead, we have this bulk and weight right there where her waistline is, where that belt is, cluttering up the look. This is the same problem Meghan Markle runs into when she bunches up her sleeves right there to the elbow area, and it just kind of eats away at the figure and the flattering silhouette that maybe had potential to show up. Rachel Khaleesi's dress looks like it's falling down. Otherwise, I think it would have been fine. The hair is maybe a little flat as well. Could have maybe done a little something with it, but mostly my biggest complaint is that it looks like it's falling down. That's really unfortunate. Oh, his sneakers were biodegradable. Prince William's sneakers on the green carpet were biodegradable. That's why he didn't change his shoes. Oh, perfect. I wish I would have read that first. Okay. That makes sense. Then yeah, he gets a pass for the shoes, for it wasn't about comfort at all. It was about featuring biodegradable sneakers that now people will be like, ooh, cool, where do I get those? Perfect. Leave it to him for always making mindful choices that will use his platform for good. Get the attention on the sneakers, because people will be like, why is he wearing sneakers? Maybe he just wanted to be comfy. And it's like, no, he had a reason. Fabulous. Throughout the trip, he looked fabulous. He was the best dressed I saw on the green carpet. But let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for today's fashion edition. I will see you next time. Have a happy day, everybody. Bye.